violence has focused the world's attention on Myanmar, with many labelling the assault against the Rohingya people as genocide. Today's rally on the steps of Parliament House has brought together the people of Perth to attempt to change the situation.
We brought in communities from all walks of life. We had Christian churches, we had Churches of Christ and Anglican Cathedral. We have had Jewish Spirit Australia from a lady rabbi attending. We have had people from Hindu, Sikh communities. We have Buddhist Federation of Australia representing, and we had people from all walks of life, because everyone is human. We are all human. That's the first and foremost message, and that's why we were here, to raise a voice for a human genocide and ethnic cleansing, because United Nations has called it textbook example of ethnic cleansing.
They know that us Aborigines support them Australia-wide. We have nothing against them. They're no different to us. The same thing that has happened to them has happened to us. We're still fighting to get our country back and trying to get recognition, not only here in Perth, but in the whole of Australia. For long, long times now, we've been denied that right. The same with these people over in these other countries. These people do need help, and I think if we have what it takes to help these people, then we should use whatever needs we have to help them.
Shalom mishpacha. Hello family. We are holding in our hearts, escaping from Burma, are not alone. Every one of us will hold them in our hearts.
And of course, as Buddha said, do not kill. The first thing is not to kill. Certain people, elements within Buddhism or even Myanmar Buddhism, they may be killing, right? They may be creating hatred. But to an ordinary man on the street, as a Buddhist, whether in Malaysia, in any country, or even in Japan, killing is not what we profess.
Some have labelled what the Rohingya people are going through now as ethnic cleansing, and others have called this a slow genocide. But we cannot remain silent. We must not remain silent on the persecution and suffering of the Rohingya people.
I'm here to read a statement from Senator Penny Wong, who's Labor's Shadow Foreign Minister. Well, it is a humanitarian crisis and it needs an appropriate response. The Labor opposition is in contact with the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister, encouraging them to do as much as they can. We support the Australian efforts to provide humanitarian aid, but clearly the scale of this disaster requires all involved to do as much as they can to put pressure on the government of Myanmar to act and stop the violence, other aspects of this humanitarian crisis.
We believe there are now some 400,000 who are homeless, who are stateless, who are suffering.
I appeal to all Australians to support this humanitarian cause, give a humanitarian aid. We recognize that this is a problem and we would like to support it. I think that humanitarian aid is required. It's certainly a crisis at the moment, and humanitarian aid is very important.
Well, the first thing is that obviously we want to see a stop to the genocide, and I think the federal government should be doing everything it can to put pressure on the Burmese government to stop what's happening right now. We need to recognise that this is a humanitarian crisis of monumental proportions. We know that 60% of the 400,000 people that are already displaced are children. These are desperate people, and we simply have to step up.
370,000 people have come out in the last few weeks from Myanmar. They have no food, they have no clean water, they have no shelter. This is our chance now to show our Rohingya brothers and sisters that we stand in solidarity with them.
We want the government to escalate their interventions within this crime of humanity.
Any human catastrophe, any human suffering anywhere in the world, that is stopped immediately, and then we'll see what we can do to help.
Myanmar remains resolute in defence of its actions despite international pressure. But with peaceful rallies like this around Australia, there is hope that democracy can save the Rohingya people. I'm Lucy Nichol reporting for Undercurrent.